Good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you who have joined StAR's monthly August webinar. Topic of today's webinar is new avenues in rotational molding, and we are looking at solid waste management and custom molding products. The presenter of the webinar is Netik Sethi, the promising Gen Next entrepreneur of StAR member company Maharashtra Maha Polyplast in Mumbai. A computer engineer by qualification, Netik has brought in a tech-driven, innovative approach for new product developments in his company, which had traditionally specialized in machines and molds. In case you want to ask questions during this webinar, you will have to click on the raised hand icon. And now I hand over to Netik to start his presentation.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Netik over here. Basically, I represent Maharashtra Maha Polyplast. As Mr. Zaman has given a brief introduction about me. So basically, today I'm going to speak on a topic which is about new avenues of rotomolding. So my topic is basically going to be in three parts. Initial part is going to be basically about solid waste management. In solid waste management, we are going to cover topics basically about the bio toilets. So, and the second one will be about composting. So, as you can see my screen, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So good. So as everyone knows, there's a huge amount of requirement of plastic portable toilets and bio toilets globally, and especially in Indian market. As per the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan initiative by Mr. Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, the requirement of bio toilets and toilets is a requirement on a very large scale. Now, what has happened? So, as we know, in India, for the open defecation is increased on a very large scale. So, in order to control these things, there's a requirement of portable toilets across India. So this is a brief different type of toilets what we basically do. Now you can see the first image, which is basically a Western toilet. Now I'll be giving a description and detail about the basic toilets and the bio toilets in my presentation. Now as you can see, nearly 1 billion people defecate outside. And so what we do basically, we have brought a one-stop solution for converting your basically the human excreta into waste solution now. So basically, now I'll give you an example what the toilet's all about. So this is a basic toilet what we manufacture, and we also do basically. I'll give you an example how these products also perform. As you can see the product is basically a double wall portable toilet. Now as it is double wall, we can see basically what happens in this thing. It's basically the thickness is around, we have a gap of around 30 to 35 mm in between. The basic advantage of this thing, it can take a load of 300-liter water tank over it. It's uniquely designed. As you can see, many corrugated parts are given. This basically helps in increasing the strength of the portable toilet. Now in this, basically all the accessories come in ready position. It's basically ready to use toilet. It can take a load of 300, which is an option which we give to our customers if they need it. So as we see, the portable toilets are basically used. It's basically very difficult to transport these toilets as a single piece. So what we have done, we have come out with a solution. These are all basically panel based. It can be assembled on site basically. So you can see in this thing now, you can see the toilet consists of 6 parts: the left panels, the right panels, the back panel, the front door, the overhead lid, and the bottom is the base. So these panels can be directly assembled on site. It's basically very easy. It takes just 1.5 hours to assemble all these toilets on site. And then as you see, it comes with 2 provisions. One is the traditional tiling system, and the second one which we have also introduced in order to maintain it. It also comes with checkered plates. Now these checkered plates, basically, as everyone knows, portable toilets are being used by many people across the world. So it becomes very easy for maintenance point of view also. It comes with all the accessories inside, ready to use. The best part about this toilet, what we have worked out is, you can see the base. Now the base is around half a feet. So what happens? You don't have to dig the pit. So what happens in that case? If you don't have to dig the pit, what happens? It's just ready to use. No pit required. It with an inbuilt staircase. Very heavy duty panels, and it can be, there's also provision where we have given for PE foaming. So what happens, this PE and or we can even utilize PU foaming, which helps in basically maintaining what happens, insulation. So even it can maintain the temperature when we need outside. Now what happens in these toilets, these are the basic toilets. Now what we are introduced, basically why bio toilets are required. So as we know, the condition of the toilets in India is very bad. Out of, if you see the stats, which I've just given our basic stats, what's happening around, out of 949 million people in the world, 564 is being contributed by India, where India is a place where still there is very less toilets being supplied. Though there has been initiative taken by our Honorable Prime Minister, the stats have changed now. The basically, as per the thing, his initiative, many the toilets have been, many toilets installation have been done across India. You can see the sanitation, as India sanitation crisis is a public health emergency. What happened in this thing? The basic example I'll give you why toilets is a must in India. The basic problem is that because of open urination and open using of toilets, there are number of rapes in India has increased on a very large scale. So the research and has come to a solution that 95 out of 95% rapes in India, around 90% rapes have been caused because women urinate or defecate outside. So there is a huge emergency of these portable toilets in India as well across the world. Research also suggests that because people are urinating and using these toilets in open places, the chances of malnutrition and causes of disease has increased on a very large scale. So as you can see, the sanitation crisis, the major places where the affection is basically the affected is in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, which is a very high, it's on a very high alert. These are the basic stats about the Swachh Bharat status, which was released in 2015. Open defecation has become a very large thing in India. So this is a basic example what has happened. Around 620 million people do not still use toilets in India. That is, which comprises, that is just half the total population of India. You can see open defecation cause diarrhea that leads to stunting. So the amounts of deaths in India has increased on a very large scale. 1,000 young lives are lost every day due to diarrhea. So that is a huge figure when it comes to the problems which we face in India. About 22 million people, girls, do not have direct access to separate toilet facilities in schools. Now, as we know, men can urinate outside. Still, the tradition in India is how many ever toilets we provide in India. Still, people don't have the mentality to use these toilets. So there's also a initiative which we have also taken. We have taken out some initiatives by our company where we try to promote people by telling, see, basically toilets have been installed across now. As per the latest reports, many toilets have been installed in India, but still the usage of toilet is still not being, people are not being basically educated about the use of toilets. So what has happened, we have taken out an initiative, and what we do, where we educate people, and we tell them the importance of toilets, especially in rural areas where the requirement of toilet is a must. Now we'll get to a topic where we are going to talk about the biodigester tank. So as we know that toilets can be installed at many places, but the basic issue comes up about the biodigester, where basically the sewage is going to go. What happens? In the traditional method of cleaning, this method is using the septic tanks. Now what we have done, we have come out with a solution which is again a DRDO certified technology. what we have done, we have created this thing into, we converted the tanks into rotomolding technology. So what the biodigester tank is basically used up to, it is basically, I'm going to speak about the designs, about the aerobic inoculum and the technology and how the advantages of biotanks is there over septic tanks. So this is a basic design of a biodigester tank. As you can see, there are 4 chambers inside this thing. The first chamber is basically the inlet, and there are more 3 chambers where through the solid waste, basically all the human excreta flows down, and the outlet where we provide a air vent, which helps if any gases are found. It helps in just removing the gas, and so it is easy to maintain. The product is being developed by rotational molding technology. The product is designed by using latest CAD/CAM software, and it is a stress-free product. Material used is UV stabilized polyethylene, and so that it can be suitable for outdoor applications. The basic product has been developed by high-tech CNC machine molds. So as we basically, I'll give you an example what we are into. Basically, we are as a company only deal in manufacturing CNC machine molds. So if you see the quality of the product is also, it's like if you compare to fabricated molds, the quality is far more like better, and we can claim like we can get the quality. What our company claims is we can get a quality but as comparative to injection molding. Now that as when we compare to injection molding technology, that we like you can see the product quality. If you see the product quality, it is that high. And then what we do this in this special tanks, we have given enough corrugations which helps in getting the earth's pressure. So what happens when it is underground, it can take the earth pressure because the design is being done in such a way it can take the earth pressure. These are the various views of our biodigester. This is the lid comes over it. So what happens once the portable toilet is connected to the, if you can see, the portable toilet is connected to the inlet of this thing. The outlet of the toilet is connected to the inlet of the first chamber. In this first chamber, then we put DRDO certified bacteria. Now these DRDO certified bacteria, what they do? They basically help in eating up all your solid waste. They are preserved inside. We put it in the first chamber. Some amount of it then goes inside the second chamber. If you can see the green part, these are basically the polygraph mat which we have provided. This mat basically what it does, it helps as a housing colony. It helps in eating up like all your human excreta. So what these bacteria inside these chambers eat your bacteria, and after the third purification chamber, you can see when it comes out from the outlet, you can get pure odorless 99% water. This water is basically very rich in nutrients, which can be, again, one provision is we can utilize it again for reflushing process, or secondly we can give it out in the open drainage line. Now how, as I said, how biodigester tank has an advantage over septic tanks. What happens in septic tanks? As we know, in septic tanks, what happens? Your human excreta is stored inside this thing, and after a year or so, there has to be a suction. This suction basically helps in removing all your human excreta, and then they have to dispose it off. The best part about this biodigester tanks are it helps in disposing of all your human excreta in one shot. And so what happens, whatever your human excreta is entering inside the system, it gets converted into pure odorless water. So there is no requirement of sewage system in any of the system. There's no requirement basically of sewage lines. It acts as a own sewage line in itself. Now these are the components of the biotank. As you can see, inside this thing, there are 4 chambers inside this thing. The first one is basically the first chamber. It's the inlet. There is a 4-inch elbow which we have provided inside this thing. So these are connected. Or this is the first chamber. Then what happens after the human excreta enters inside the system in the first chamber? As I've explained before, there is some human We basically provide the DRDO bacteria inside this chamber. These bacteria then enter inside the second chamber, and so there is a flow. As the design has been done in such a way, there's a proper flow path has been given in the design itself. So this flow, there's a continuous flow of water. So first, in the initial 2 days, what we do, we install these biodigester tanks, and then for 48 hours, it's kept under observation. So as we as per the instruction given to the clients, what we do, tell them to just keep these biodigester tanks in observation state for 2 days. That's for 48 hours. Once this has been kept under 48 hours, the biodigester tank is ready for usage. So after, as you can see, the inlet has been connected to the outlet of the toilets. So these basically what happens after the 48 hours process has been done. It starts processing. So after every flushing, what we do, we see this whatever the human excreta is being treated, and it comes from the outlet of the system. There's rubber gasket which we have provided over here in the entire system, which helps in maintaining like it's airtight. So there's no chance of leakage from any sections of the plant. So the product application. The biodigester tank is used as a biological decomposition of human waste. It's an innovative technology for disposing of human waste in an eco-friendly and economical and hygienic manner. It's a complete waste. It is a complete waste solid means which reduces human waste to biogas and pure water, which can be used for bacterial inoculum. The output of which is colorless, odorless. The best part about, as I explained before, it can be utilized again for plantation purpose. There's no smell, and so what happens, it can be given out in open spaces also. Advantage is it can be connected to new toilets as well as existing toilets if you want so. This is a basic design. It's a zero maintenance. Now what happens, the best part about this product is it's a zero maintenance product. Once you install inside, you don't have to maintain it at all. So as per the instruction, the toilets are connected to the biodigester. You seal it, put the bacteria inside, and then what happens? Just it is ready to use. So what happens? There's no suction of toilet or human excreta you require. It's a zero maintenance product. It's once you start using it, it has to be basically only criteria about this thing. It has to be in daily use. Like if the toilet is in a vacant situation for more than 3 to 4 months, then the biodigester starts malfunctioning. So only principle is followed for this thing. If the toilet is not being used for 3 to 4 months, then in that case, what we do, we can recharge it again directly from the commode. You don't have to open it. It's once you seal it, just you don't have to open it for your entire lifespan. And the best part, there's no need of connectivity to the sewage line. No disposal of sludge is required. This is basically the process flow of the biotank. First chamber where your human excreta enters, and then there's a flow path, and from the outlet there's a gas vent pipe. If any gaseous substances are formed, it goes out, and there's a water outlet, and we can see there's no scum coming out of it. Minimum sludge is there. Now, advantages of biodigester: wide adaptability, as it is a plastic molded product. As it is a plastic molded product, what happens in this? It is very easy to transport. And then what happens? It does not require any septic and sewage line connectivity. Organic waste reduction is 99%. Hello? Yeah. So the only limitation what we come up in this thing is number of users and flushing per day has to be defined to the customers. Now what happens in some situation, for example, if I consider the lowest version of our thing is 300 liters. If we give it to a customer, we have to even educate them about the number of users which has to be defined initially while selling the product. Because if extra uses of many number of people are using the thing, the system can start malfunctioning. It can choke. So what happens, you have to give, for example, the 300 liter is suitable for around 4 to 5 people, and that's around 10 to 15 flushings per day. And what happens then, you have to this is the basic criteria, and so on as on the capacity increases, you have to give the information to the clients, the space availabilities about the thing. Basic requirement of our minimum thing is for a 5 to 6 people, our area of around 4 feet by 4 feet by 1.5 foot area is required. You have to even check with the land soil quality. So you have to check this thing before installation. If you give any commitment to the soil, we have to even check if the land soil quality of the product of the basically the quality is good. If, for example, if it is a marshy land, there are some restrictions to it, so it becomes very difficult for it to maintain the earth pressure. And if any drainage line, that's an additional thing. If you have an drainage line, then it's advantage basically. The uses of biodigester tanks. So it's very good for roots of plants. As you know, the output of it is, it's very rich in nutrients, and it also helps in reducing the greenhouse gas emissions. Now, list of materials which should be restricted in biodigester tanks. There are around 6 to 7 products which has to be like totally avoided, like basically the plastic bottles, cigarettes, sanitary napkins, tissue papers, bags, polythene bags, any type of these kinds of any plastic materials should be avoided inside this thing. So what happens if you put these things, it will start malfunctioning, the product will start choking. So you have to be very careful while putting or while educating the clients. This is basically a flow path how the portable toilet is connected to a biodigester tank. The working principle, human waste, then the anaerobic bacteria which we put in liquid form. This basic emission of CO2 and methane gas released to atmosphere, which can be used as biogas for street lighting. Again, an advantage which can be used for street lighting. And if any liquid waste effluent is there, it can be directly given out in reed beds, or it can be used for watering of plants. Now the benefits over existing approach. There are 3 comparisons which we have given over here. One is the flushing toilet, the second one is dry latrine, and third is the biodigester tank. Flush toilets, again high maintenance. There's regular cleaning process required. Again, suction of there's a regular suction of material which has to be done. If you see the dry latrines, it is a low maintenance, though it is a low maintenance product, but it is a very unhygienic way. As you see, the maintenance point of view, it's very unhygienic. Biodigester, as I explained before, what the material comes out is basically odorless water, so it's zero maintenance. Flush toilets, difficult to maintain, difficult to construct, so it's very, you have to labor oriented process. Again, there has to be labor oriented process. You have to see a site for it, take many like approvals. Here what we do in this portable toilet, there's no approvals required directly. As per, you just see the site and you can, it's easy to construct. Again, it's ready made, so it can be constructed on site. So in flush toilet, heavy water requirement is there, and in biodigester, it's a very less water requirement. Once it's flushed out, it will directly flush out in the system. It's prone to spread many diseases. So as you see, it's flushing toilet. What happens? There is a chance of, when these portable, like these toilets are open, what happens? There are chances of like many insects and many other bacteria and many things going around. So which increases chances of diseases like diarrhea is very high. While in this biodigester, as we see, the bacteria eat away all your pathogens, which kills and process. So what you get is pure odorless environmental product. And what happens in septic tanks? In septic tank, what we do, as it is stored, basically the human excreta is stored, there are chances of whatever, if while suction, there are chances the end product is basically very smelly. So the advantage of this biodigester, it's no smell, as the end product is methane and carbon dioxide. So this was a brief of about now how portable toilets and the advantages of biodigester can be a huge advantage for Indian market and also the overseas market. Why I target the Indian market? Because as everyone knows, the open defecation in India is on a very high stage. So these basically the biodigester portable toilets, what they do help as in itself and help in creating and as a sewage system in itself. Now the second topic which I'm going to talk about is basically the compost bins. What happened now, as per the Supreme Court, as everyone knows, the Supreme Court has passed a notice where it shows that every society, community, organization, be it anything, has to basically treat the waste at its own end. So what has, as everyone knows, the situation of dumping grounds in India is like been bad. What has happened because of these dumping grounds, there is no space now for storing all your waste, whatever the waste like the dry waste, biodegradable waste, or electronics waste, which has been stored for over the years. These materials were being taken from our houses, from our factories, or be it from offices, and they were it was being done. They were being basically taken and they were dumped. No measures were being taken by any person in by any organizations, by any people. So what happened? That it came to a stage. Now we have come to a stage. The dumping grounds have become full. So now what to do? So what we have done, we have come out with a range of compost bins, being from motorized to automized compost bins also. So these are basically the rotomolded compost bins which we do. This one which is the compost bin which is electronic, which is basically a motorized version. Again, a rotomolded component with the basic motorized version. And this is basically we have developed for Excel Industries Limited. This is basically a PLC controlled compost bin which helps in solving all your human biodegradable waste into compost. Now the major topic which we are going to discuss is about basically there are three types of segregation which we have. One is the dry waste, second is the wet waste, and the e-waste. Now one should know what type segregation is also all about. Dry waste consists of basically plastic boxes, papers, magazines, and all kind of plastic products. Wet waste is basically all your kitchen waste, be it veg or non-veg, anything, dry leaves. So this comes under the sector of wet waste, and the third sector is basically the e-waste. Now the e-waste is basically it consists of all your batteries, electronic waste, CDs, tapes, and so on. What basically we can do using the rotomolding technology is basically we can treat wet waste. We can consider and we can convert your wet waste into compost. So what brief highlight about the innovation. So what is basically composting? Composting is a natural breakdown of organic matter to produce nutrient-rich soil. The resulting can be added to as it can be used as a fertilizer and also gives huge. It increases the quality of your plants. Regardless of your size of your outdoor space, there will be a composting solution to suit your needs. The compost bin is a one-stop solution for all your kitchen waste, green waste, veg, non-veg, and so on. The detailed technical description, basic idea of the product. So we have developed a unique product which converts your wet waste into gold. Now what we claim by wet waste into gold is basically, as everyone knows, no one gives attention to the waste in India, but as there's many articles which says the next core business in India is going to be wet waste management, where basically all your waste can be utilized and it can be a huge market in itself. The product is developed by a unique process named as, again, known as rotomolding technology. It is a one-piece stress-free product. They've also given provision for aeration to create aerobic atmosphere in the chamber. The molds have been developed by basically the CAD/CAM software and using heightened CNC machine molds. FEA analysis also has been done on these products. The FEA analysis for this product has been done in order so that as there is a category of load, so the analysis helps in defining how and what bin can take and at what level it can sustain the load. It has been made for UV stabilized as it's suitable for outdoor application. it comes with bushing and can be easily rotated by one person. So basically, as I've said, there are three variants which we have developed. The manual version. Now, what happens in the manual version? So there's no power supply which is required. One person can utilize it, and it can be, and it basically a person can in itself can convert all your waste into compost. So this is basically what is a compost bin. Now this is the smallest category. This is the smallest version of a product basically. So this is, as you can see, there are two drums inside with a powder coated frame inside this thing, and these are the lids. Injection molding. We have used an injection molded lid which is completely airtight. It eliminates the need for a wet waste collection vehicle. Now what happens, there's a huge mafia for collecting your basically the wet waste. On an average, as per the stats which I was going through, on a daily average, around 9,000 tons of your waste is being carried from your societies and dumped into the open grounds. That's the stat for Bombay in itself. This is only for Bombay what the stats is all about. So there's a huge mafia of these vehicles. What happens? These vehicles carry all your waste and then they dump it. So there was a huge, when this technology was out and the Supreme Court took an initiative, there was a huge, these mafias, the vehicle mafias took a initiative to stop these things because there was the huge amount of money flow while transporting your wet waste from your housing society to the dumping grounds. But what was happening because of this? Because of this selfish attitude of these mafia, what was happening? The dumping grounds were increasing, and now we have come up to a stage where there is no space to dump all your materials. So the government took an initiative, and they took an initiative. Still, it is in a process. Still, they have not become rigid about it, but still, some people at their own end are taking initiative of curing their wet waste and converting it into compost. So this compost bin reduces your carbon footprint, requires no electricity. As this is a manual version, it requires no power connection. It's a manual process, ideal for composting in flats, apartments, and institutes. Now I'll give you a product. I'll give you the detail of this product. As you can see, the green part is the rotomolded component. It's been designed and many ribs have been provided in order to take the load of the material. Now the second part is, as you can see, there are heavy duty HDPE pipes for aeration. Now what these do, basically once you put your biodegradable material inside your system, what happens? There has to be some amount of aeration inside your drums. So what happens if enough aeration, many people have designed these products in blow molding, but what has happened? The technology, they have not provided the basic fundamentals of aeration inside the system. And the base, so what happens, enough aeration system has to be provided so that whenever any bacteria are formed, they can basically, they don't die inside the system, because even bacteria require some amount of aeration inside. The lid which we have been provided, which is, there's an opening we have provided inside this lid which helps in opening all your material, and this airtight. As you can see, the red part is basically the pinhole. It's basically it acts as a locking agent. Then there's a handle which is basically help for rotating your bin. The powder coated, we have special powder coated frames have been provided so that the life of it is very high. Now we can see down there's a ball valve to collect the leach. What happens once you put a degradable material, whatever the food material inside your system, what happens, there's in some amount of wet waste which stays inside your compartment. So in order to remove this thing, there's a ball valve which we have provided inside this thing. This ball valve, you can just open it and you can collect the leach inside a container. This leach is again rich in nutrients which can be utilized for growing your plants. Yeah. So how to use compost bin and create compost? As you can see in this flowchart, this basically all your organic waste is there. I'll just give you an example how it works. So how it works? Now collect segregated kitchen waste from each of your home. What we do then, after collecting all your waste, there are two drums, if you can see in the figure. For the first drum is basically the, as you can see in the first figure, there are two drums. The first drum, what we do, we put your biodegradable waste inside the system. We put some amount of basically we put about some amount of sawdust inside the system. So the sawdust should be the 20% of your waste. The smallest one which I'm describing about is can take a capacity of 5 to 7 kgs of wet waste per day. So for example, if you're putting 5 to 7 kgs, you have to put 20% of sawdust. What this sawdust basically does, it creates the heat inside the system. So this heat basically what it does, it absorbs all your, what you say, the wet waste, whatever the any amount, if from vegetables any material is there, it just what it helps in absorbing it, and it creates the heat. This heat, then what it does, it turns your whatever it converts it into leach. Then what we do, after putting it, we then close the system. So this single drum, there are two drums, as you can see. This first drum, initially we have to put 5 to 7 whatever the 5 kgs in first day. This continues till 15 days. So for every 15 days, till the 15 day, 1 to 15 day, you have to start continuously put your whatever the biodegradable waste inside the system. So what happens, and then there you have to rotate it. Now we come to the rotation. After you close the thing, you have to rotate the compost bin 8 to 10 times daily. So what happens by rotating, what happens, it acts as a mixture. While rotating, then whatever the material, there's a proper mixture which takes place inside the system. Then what happens after the first 15 days, now your drum is totally filled. Just stop putting the material inside the first chamber. Now start putting the material inside the second chamber. And for next, from 16 to 30 days, don't put any material in the first chamber. Now start putting it in the second chamber. So what happens, after the 16 to 38 days, the material is stored inside this chamber, again 5 kgs per day. So basically, if you compare on an average 15 into 5, that's around 75 to 80, 100 kgs is stored in this. It has a capacity of 100 kgs per 15 days. So after rotating, what happens, you can see the compost is ready. This you can collect the compost in a tray, and then it can be ready to use. Now this compost, there are many things. If the small apartments or this thing is there, what happens, they can treat at their own end. And if there are many agencies, what they do, there's like the Food Corporation of India. What they do, like if the compost is if they have a compost on a very large scale, they help in collecting all your human, basically it helps in, they collect all your thing, and the rate for this conversion is basically compost is 5 to 7 rupees per kg. Now these are the components. The lid, which is an injection molding component. As you can see, the HDP heavy duty HDP pipes are there. As you can see, the many aeration sections have been given, the cutting sections have been given. This helps in suction of the product. And then there are pipes for aeration, proper aeration, and MS frame has been given. The design of the MS frame is again heavy duty. The metal frames has been used, no need for foundation. So basically, and the best part about this thing, it can be knocked down. So if for example, if you want to move your component from one location to other, it's very easy. It's all the product can be again knocked down, and you can shift it to any place, and assembly just takes 30 minutes for it to be in a proper position. Various views of the compost bin which you have given, the front, back, the inside view. As you can see in the inside view, there are 4 HDP pipes, and proper connectivity has been done so that proper aeration takes place. Now, ingredients for composting, what we can add. So basically, we can add meat, fish, all your human biodegradable, like for example, non-veg, veg, egg, shells, etc. Non-compostable elements are basically plastic, no coffee mugs, no metal structures, nothing inside. So what happens, if you put these materials inside, it takes longer for it, and the output will be very bad, especially when there are also, we have come out with some products, like for example, there are citric products like oranges, lemon. So what happens, you have to basically, while segregating these products, these fruits or vegetables, you have to squeeze it. If you don't squeeze it, what happens, as they are citric, it will take a long period of time for it to basically get into compost state. So you have to basically take care about these products. As you see, as I was speaking about, how much time does it take for your waste to get decomposed? So if you see vegetable and fruit waste, it takes 3 to 4 weeks. And you can see, as this government has taken big action against disposal and non-usage of plastic bags. As you can see, the plastic bag takes 1 million years. That is huge. One plastic bag takes 1 million years for it to get decomposed. Now that's a very big figure. So that is why we should support with the government initiative to ban plastic bags. So a detailed study by compost bins were designed and developed. So as I told you, Mumbai has a coastal stretch of 603 square kilometer. So it has been divided into 3 sections. The major dumping ground in our area is so as we see, Mumbai generates around 7,025 tons per day. The waste consists of mixed, which is biodegradable and recycled, and 2,000 tons of debris and silt. It is estimated by 2018 such waste will aggregate to 9,000 tons per day, which is, as per the 2019 stats, it has increased to around 11,000 tons per day. So MCGM has taken many initiatives. We have also have many discussions with MCGM, and we have taken many initiatives. Many programs have been arranged by our company so that they are educated about how composting can be done. We have also have many tie-ups with NGOs. So these NGOs help in creating an awareness. Different models as you can see, there are many manual compost bins which manual models are available in this thing. The basic thing is the 50-liter compost bin, as you can see, which has a capacity of treating 5 to 7.5 kgs wet per day, suitable for 10 to 15 flats. So this is the smallest version. If you can see, the 50-liter one is basically suitable for apartments as well as small societies. The 110-liter version is basically suitable for 24 to 30 flats, and 200 is, and there are so on. So these are the manual versions. Now the compost process technology. It's a biological process. So it basically converts, it's a ratio of 30 to 1%, and the moisture and absorb level are closely managed and monitored. So provision for extra moisture discharge is given at the bottom of tumbler by ball. Now we have also come up with, we face certain issues where there were for manual versions, there was a difficulty for many people actually to treat the waste. So we then came up with a motorized version. This motorized version basically comes, as you can see, it comes with the power on, and it comes with the auto and manual mode. And then what happens in the manual mode, what happens, it moves continuously. And in the auto mode, what we have given a cycle of 2.5 meters in the forward direction and 2.5 meters in the reverse direction. This is pre-programmed. So what happens, you don't have to, basically physical appearance is not required, and it moves, it has been pre-programmed. So after a gap of just 2 hours, it again starts performing on its own. Such kind of model which we have installed in BITS Pilani recently. And if you want, you can get a detailed report from BITS Pilani. They have been utilizing this thing. They have installed this thing in their center. So you can get, if the performance output of this, you can get a brief idea from BITS Pilani. Now, there's a requirement. Now what happened, there is a certain kind of thing where there is space restriction. So we came out with a huge big range of compost bin, that is basically a community compost bin. So what these community compost bin do, they basically, what it helps in regular conversion of your wet waste into basically compost. So these again are automized version. So it's pre-programmed, no human interference is required. So what it does, this has a capacity of like converting 500 kgs of wet waste per day. So that is a big thing. Now we are also working on one of the project where it is going to be a continuous project. Like it is going here what it happens 500 kgs is being treated per day. Now we are coming up with one of the models where your human degradable waste basically can be converted on a regular cycle. So there are where conveyor belts are there where we can continuously put your material and it will be a continuous project. This is a compost bin developed for Excel Industries Limited. Now this compost bin is an automized version. It's a PLC control compost bin. So all the rotomolding components are being developed and given to Excel Industries by our company. So this, what happens about, it is a very unique product now. So what happens in this thing, this compost bin is basically helps in converting your like the biodegradable waste in per hour. We can basically convert it 5 kgs per hour. Basically we can convert your biodegradable waste into compost. So it's an automized project. Motors have been given inside, so it's a continuous project. So on an average, there are models now which we are working on 75 to 100 kgs per day. This model is suitable to convert your waste. No human interference required. Once all your biodegradable waste is there, there's an opening which we have given over here. So it gets collected into a tray, which can, as you can see, it can be stored. And in 9 days, your material is basically getting converted into compost. So in the earlier model which I showed you, in these models, it takes 30 days. So this model which has been developed by Excel Industries is a very unique model, which is basically a model which can convert it has reduced your conversion time from 30 days to 9 days. That's basically 21 days has been saved during this process. Why compost bin is going to be a big boom in Indian market? Because it consists of 80% of plastic products. So the usage of polymer consumption in India can also increase. And as per the ideal product it is an ideal product for Indian market under the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan initiated by Honorable Prime Minister of India. So in nutshell, I can summarize that compost bins is a requirement, though it is not being taken seriously in India as of now because the awareness is not being created. But still, it can be a huge boom, and especially where it can be utilized it can be supplied at industrial levels, at project levels, at your building levels. So it is a huge. The market for this thing can be very huge. Now the third part now I'm going to talk about is basically rotomolded furniture. Initially, injection molding furniture was being developed on a very large scale. Now, as everyone knows, rotomolded furniture is also has picked up a very large scale. Especially many of our clients have developed various designs and molds for indoor as well as outdoor furniture. So I'll give you an idea what we are into. We are basically the official or the authorized mold manufacturing license for QDES. Now what QDES does, QDES is a Florida-based company. So this company is basically into manufacturing of QDES. They have variants. So what we are into, basically we are the official mold manufacturing licensee. So if any mold requirement is there for QDES, it is routed through us. So we are the official licensee partner for this. Now I'll give a brief introduction about the product. QDES is the only student desk which is modern, eco-friendly, ergonomic, safe for the students and lasts for a lifetime. This is the furniture that every student would have, and in this modern world, education should not be left behind. So as you can see in this thing, it's a very beautiful design product. The strength is beautiful. Many various provisions has been given inside this thing. So what happens inside this thing? It's very comfortable. It has been designed as per the norms of so that it is very easy for students to sit on over it. So it is ergonomic. As you can see, the design is beautiful. Again, very beautiful design. So it is very attractive, especially targeted for these products can be targeted to the schools, the universities. As now we have seen in India, the universities and colleges, there's a huge fund. So people like the government of India and especially the private firms are investing a huge amount of money in these firms. So in order to meet the requirements, these products as a in aesthetic point of view, they give a very beautiful effect. So it replaces again in the present market, presently in all the schools and the universities, they use wooden furniture. So what happens in this wooden furniture? First of all, we are destroying the forest, again affecting the forests. So what we have come up with a product where these products can be converted into plastics. Design is beautiful. It's basically a single piece, stress-free product. It is easy to clean and maintain. There are no weldings, no nails, no nothing, anything. So even it's a student-friendly product. No labor or maintenance material expenses required, as it's born only because it's a lifetime. The warranty of the product, as claimed by QDesk, is 10 years. But as the company claims, this is just a number. It can sustain up to more than 10 to 20, 15 years. Many tests have been done by the company over it, like beating it to the floor, explosion tests, hit by a truck. So the product design, it has been high level of FE analysis has been done over the product. So after a research of 5 years, then this product was launched in the market. Now this product is running successfully in 18 countries across the globe. Indian market, still in India, the market is not being established. Still, there is scope for this thing, as people and present industry can look forward to this product. It can be a huge game changer as compared to as we compare into furniture. The design has been, as you can see in this design, the head neck is upright position and so it's very relaxing. Even if you sit for 6 to 7 hours on this product, it is very relaxing. There's good support that prevents back pain. The major thing what we do when we sit on a wooden frame, what happens after a period of like 4 to 5 hours, there's a back pain because the design is not been done as proper. But proper angles have been done and considered while designing the product. Then for this thing, you can see rested elbow. Now what happens when you put your elbow over this thing? The proper design has been done so that the elbows are very comfortable and becomes easier. Enough space has been given between the legs, so the gap is there. So there's no, your legs are not getting touched to the component. And there's a curvature, if you can see near the foot area, there's a curvature which has been provided, which helps in just keeping it very comfortable. Your legs are very comfortable and you're very comfortable while sitting in this product. So while this product has been developed, there are 4 variants which this product is available. They have come out with Q3, Q4, Q5 and Q6. Q3 is basically suitable for children between 4.2 to 4.6 feet. So as you see, the weight is also on a very, as compared to the design, the weight is very less. So it is a very heavy duty product. And there are 4, as you can, in my further presentation, you can just see the thing, the Q5, Q6, and there are different versions. The highest version, the biggest version which they have come up with is Q6, which is suitable for 5.1 feet. Now this product is also being used in Mexico as even in conference hall. So it can take a weight of even around 200 kgs of weight of, even if a person weighing 200 kgs sits on it, he's also comfortable, and it has been tested at their level. Now the other product, which is basically the furniture section, is basically the scope for outdoor furniture. This is a product which we had developed for Coca-Cola in Uganda. So this is basically, it's an outdoor furniture, very beautiful. As per the Coca-Cola, as branding, enough branding, has space for enough branding, so it's very soothing. The 4 chairs have been provided, armrest has been provided, and a video test center. It looks very beautiful. This is a huge market now. Now, as you can see, these are the indoor furniture. These are low cost furniture developed for indoor housing. These furnitures basically can be can replace again the wooden structures, and we can utilize it again. We can save wood and we can replace it with plastics. It has been designed as per very comfortable to sit, and it comes with a set of two sofas, two single set sofas, and also a three-seater sofa. So it can again, it's a unique product which can be utilized, and there can be a huge market. One of our clients has just sold around, I think so, he's doing this product. He's done a turnover worth around 100 crores doing only this single product. The second product is basically, you can see, is an indoor or outdoor uh, structure which can be utilized as a beer. It can be used keeping your beer structures, which has been done by Frontier Polymers. Again, it can be used in swimming areas or indoor furnitures. Now, this is a furniture which was developed for one of our clients. So it is basically, as you can go by the color, it's done as per the Coca-Cola requirement. It is modular. So what happens, all these things are panel based, very easy for transportation. It can be assembled on site. And so basic, what happens in India, especially the major cost where we suffer is the transportation. Now the transportation charge in some products becomes much more higher as compared to the product. So these modular furnitures acts as a huge boost. It comes with two-seater, two single-seater furniture, and one two-seater furniture with a center table. So this was a basic idea of the furniture. There are many more range which I have not displayed, but there are many more products which you may be knowing in the market where rotomolding is going to be a boom. Now the fourth topic is basically the outdoor planters. Now these planters basically, as you know, it gives a very aesthetic, pleasing. Now what happened, FRP, now there's a huge requirement of planters, especially in the airport areas and malls. So what we have come up with, we have replaced, it is our motto is to replace the FRP planters and convert into rotomolding. So these are the various ranges we have designed, planters ranging from just 13 inches planters going up to like around 7-foot planters. So the first one, if you can see, is basically a matte finishing planter. This is the second one is a glossy finish planter, and these are the rectangular. There are various ranges which we have developed for many clients. This is now a unique product which we have developed. These are glossy planters now. So what happens in this glossy, it is, if you see these planters, it matches exactly, it looks like an injection molding planter. If you compare this, we can challenge if no one can actually differentiate between a injection molding or a rotational molding planter. If you compare both, if you keep both the samples together, it has mirror finish. Sorry, you can see the quality of the molds inside this thing. Hardcore diamond finish has been done, and hardcore plating also has been done over this thing. If you see, there are no parting lines there's visible in these planters. So it is beautiful. These planters, like, there are various designs, rectangular, oval, and there are many variants which we have developed. This is a just rough idea which I've given about these planters. So this again can be a huge, like, planters again in rotomolding can be a huge demand. So what was happening initially, why people never used to like approach to rotomolded planters, the only problem was the finishing, because these products again are products which are aesthetically pleasing. So it used to get rejected because of the rough surfaces. So but these planters can be a game changer for various customers. Now these are the self-working planters. This is a project which is being done by us and design direction. This is basically, as you can see, it is a self-watering planter. So the bottom one, as with the blue planter, is basically, it comes as a set, the green and the blue. The blue one is basically a reservoir tanker. It has a capacity of 7 liters. It has a capacity of 7 liters. So what happens, you can store these the green planter over this thing, and there are many holes in this green. As you can see, there are many holes in this green section. So this helps in capillary action, as in when the water is required, it suctions the water, and so there's no regular requirement of like sprinkling of water regularly. So there's also a yellow color. If you can see, a level indicator has been given. So whenever the water level goes down, there's a provision where we have given, you can put, you don't have to put again pick the entire green set. There's a provision where you can put the water inside. So And there's also injection molding part where, so what happened, there was a situation initially while developing, there were many situations where we came up, there were the chances of malaria. So what happened, we developed a cover. So there's no by any chance, it's airtight, and there's no by any chance, my chances of malaria or dengue can be grown from this thing. It comes in a modular design also. So this is a design where 9 planters can be developed simultaneously. As you can see in this thing, the blue part, all these, you can fill the water from the top. All these planters are interconnected. So what happens once the water is filled in the lower tank, it stops. And then these 9 planters basically can be grown. It's been designed in such a way there's no stoppage for the other restriction for the other planter to grow. You can grow n amount of planter. Whatever plants grow above the soil can be grown in these planters, be it fenugreek, whatever grows above the soil can be grown in this radish. Anything can be grown in these planter sets. So what has happened? It has act as a self gardening set. So it does not, we don't require to have a huge space. You can even put it in your balconies. Area required is hardly around a foot by half foot. So basically that's the only area which you require. You can put it and you can grow your own plants. Now the last section which I come up is basically the palletized container. Now this is basically a product which is being developed for one of our clients in US. So it has a provision for forklift. And this, what we do it with, it's a double wall PE foam palletized container. So inside this thing, we have a combination of the LLDP with some impact modifiers, and also there's PE foam we add inside this product. So what happens, as you can see, this is basically used to store materials. So our client stores our materials and then it is directly given out in US. So what happens, it acts as a logistic partner or the logistic product, so supplying from one end to another. The best part about this product is it can be stacked one above the other. So it's like it comes in one container, it's stacked like 1 + 4. That is basically 5. The best part about this product is the bottom pallet takes a strength of 5,000 kgs. Now you can understand the bottom one, it has been designed in such a way the product can take a strength of 5,000 kgs. So the bottom one is stacked and it has to be, again, the design has been done, design as per the FE analysis has been done over this product, and so that it can take the load of 5,000 kgs in the bottom plate. Also a lid has been provided over this thing. So if you see that there's a lid on top, this lid, again, what happens when we place these palletized containers over this, the strength of it is distributed on the corners of the lid. And you can imagine the lid is just, if you see, the lid is just around 7 kgs. So you can imagine a 7 kg product can take a load of 5,000 kgs load. So design has been done in such a way it can withstand 5 tons of load. So these are basically the product application. These are heavy castings which is loaded inside these containers. So these casting, a single container can take a load of 1 ton. So these castings are being stored at a customer site. They store the thing and they are stacked one above the other. This is how it works. These containers, as you can see, I'll just show if this video works. So you can see these pallets being stored by these forklifts and they are kept over these palletized containers. And see, it's been distributed between the pallets. The weight goes inside the lid areas. So the side structures which have been developed, it's been very heavy. The corrugated structures have been given so that it can take the load. This is basically the bottom view. Again, these holes come inbuilt. So what happens if any material, while the load has been sent from one place to another, if any water storage is there, enough holes have been provided so that there's no dust materials or any water storage has been done and it can drain out. So this was a basic presentation about all my products. So hope if any questions are there, we can start the question answer round after this presentation. Thank you.
Yeah,
Netik,
everyone.
nice. And yeah, I think you require maybe a 1 minute break. Yeah. Meantime, we will take the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, all these waste management products that Netik has shown has a good potential for rotomolders, but one has to always remember that all these products are not just like a single product that okay once you make the mold and you sell. It's like concept selling. So there is lots of technology behind the products and behind the composting. So when we will plan for all these products, we should go thoroughly. Then only I think we can successful in the this all these where solid waste management and all, because all these are solutions. These are not just products, and that is the beauty of rotomolding, that we can offer solutions, not only products. So Netik has explained in detail. So Netik, now you can take questions.
Okay. I think so. There's a question from Rotomatic Containers.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Can you please help me out in connecting to this Rotomatic container?
Yeah, Rotomatic Containers has been unmuted. You may please ask question.
Who's the person? Rotomatic?
Person.
Rotomatic, please. Yeah, Netik. Meantime, I just from my side. Yeah, for
Sorry?
all these waste management solutions, you have shown lots of products. So
Mm-hmm.
are these products and technology available for sale from your side, or this is just your technology and with, or you can offer to our all the
We can
rotomolder?
provide
Yeah.
it with basic. This presentation was basically we can provide it to the customers also. These are the basic technologies which we have developed, but we can give it to our customers also. And if any others they have specific requirements, these are the general products which we have. Any specific designs or anything, we can even develop for them also as per their requirement.
Okay, but if somebody wants the same thing, so you can sell it to them, no problem, right?
Yeah, we can sell it to them. There's no problem about that.
Okay, that's good, because um, something there, some intellectual property rights and all that. That's just
But
my
there are certain
intent.
products, like for example, there are certain products as I showed you in like for the Excel Industries. Now that is for
Yeah,
Orco. If you see this thing, this is a proprietary product of Excel Industries. So now in that case, it's a proprietary product. We cannot sell it to anyone. It's a design of
that's
our
okay.
own. Yeah.
Yeah, but all other general products you can do for
Then
all these other customers,
we
no
can do it.
problem. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions coming? Can you see?
Yeah, actually only Rotomatic containers like I. And there's one
Nobody.
more from Mr. Ravi Kadiwar also.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, Akshay from Rotomatic Containers has a question.
Yeah.
Akshay, you can ask the question, please. Akshay, are you there?
I think he's trying to speak.
So Mr. Ravi Mehra has a question.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Ravi Mehra, you can ask the question.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah,
I
hi.
so Netik, I've listened to your total presentation. It's a very
Okay.
extensive information on your products that you have shared. It's very exciting to see how many different applications have been developed. And it should be encouraging for all the rotomolders in India. And like Umakant said, rotomolding provides solutions, not just a product.
Exactly.
And that's
Yeah.
where the strength is. And that's, by the way, where the pricing is. When you make just a component, it's priced based on the shape, size, and weight of the component. But when you
Perfect.
provide a solution, the price is based on what it helps to achieve and do. I
That's
hope
true.
this will enable other people also to want to share the various development or work on various developments. But it's very
Yeah.
exciting to see, very encouraging. So thank you, Netik, very much.
Thank you so much. It was good for you actually. Thanks for joining for this thing actually, for the webinar.
Oh, you did it very well. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Ravi Kadiwar.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Netik, this is Ravi from Greenwich.
Yeah.
Netik, the last pallets that you have shown, the containers,
Yeah.
may I know the height of the containers? And the height of one, yes, this
It's
one.
basically around 485 mm. That's around 485 mm.
Okay.
We can develop in higher size also. That is not a problem. Up to 1 meter we can develop it basically. That's not a problem.
Okay, because I was looking out for some containers to carry resin for static, I mean for storage of the granules that we receive.
So it can be done. This is just an example. Now also we have developed one more thing. This again is in a designing stage. Those are basically collapsible pallets now. So as you know, first initially in injection molding, many people used to do it, but now we have converted that technology. We are still in the design phase. So those pallets will be basically collapsible. So it will again help when you want to use it, you can use it, and otherwise you can just collapse it. So again, it becomes, for transportation point of view, it becomes very easier basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Netik, you are involved with this Mumbai Municipal Corporation and all the for now sewage treatment plant. Is it compulsory in Mumbai?
Still, basically, what is happening? The basic problem, what is happening? There is a big requirement of these things, but what is happening? There's always a dispute. What happening? The areas, the sewage areas, the limitations are there. The government bodies have approved it, but there are situations where there are certain, as you know, in all the bodies, there are some people who always oppose some products. So that is the only thing. Some internal things are going on, but in a year or so, there's a chances of sewage waste system to come up in Mumbai.
But is it on the paper? Like, is it compulsory for hospitals to put a sewage treatment plant inside their?
No, it is required. Actually, now there's a mandatory thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, this is what it is. What happens in big organization? It has become mandatory. It has been by BMC. There's a notice given to all these big organizations to basically take care of the waste. If any penalty, if they don't do it at the end, penalty charges, not big penalty charges as of now, but yeah, there are certain basically penalties have been imposed over these people now. So it's going to be a mandatory thing. And in the same thing, sewage system, if we talk about sewage, there's also one product which is a grease tank now. So this is like, as the sewage system is mandatory for you converting your as compared to human excreta, these grease tanks has become mandatory for all the hotel organizations basically. So what these grease tanks basically helps in like separating your grease, which is again hazardous if it is kept in the open area. So that has become mandatory now for all the hotel industry.
This is a new avenue for all rotomolders to look for these grease separators and all.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, grease separators. This is Ravi Mehra again. Just to add to this, by the way, the rules have been there for a long time. You guys know I've been visiting India since early 2000. The rules have been there for grease arresters, for waste treatment and holding tanks and everything. But they have not been forcefully enforced. But now that the solutions are available, and also there is better awareness, mandations are going to be exercised more forcefully. Another comment is you talked about the collapsible pallet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you or your father is aware that Neil Kamal had one of those designed here in USA by Mike Paloin.
MS, aluminum,
They
or
actually made it.
yes, yes.
And perhaps if you know them, you can have a conversation with them to find out if you are not familiar with that. Because whenever you develop something or do something, it's always good to see what else is there that is similar and how it is better or how you can do better.
Yeah, so basically there are certain things now we have also, there are certain new designs after researching the market and the requirement. After this, basically after this product was successful, there was a requirement, as a customer requirement was they're still working on the designs. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
But
Yeah.
the photograph that you're showing, I think that can be a very big seller. You said this is for your US customer. But
Exactly,
people
yeah.
can go to the automotive industry, and not only automotive, any manufacturing industry or heavy castings and all that, and detail this capability. Keep in mind, injection molding and all cannot do this. It's not
Exactly.
only more expensive for tooling, reason being, rotomolding provides for very big, heavy parts, double walls with foaming and structural foam inside. So there are some very inherent, unmatchable qualities or capabilities that rotomolding provides. You just have to be able to sell to the customer with proper knowledge, proper understanding, proper listening, and with confidence.
Yeah, so that is why this product is basically a double wall. Again, in these all these, if you cut the section, E foam has been done. So this it's distributed and it has all sides has kiss-offs and it has a four-way entry basically. No doubt the mold is very complicated while producing it, but the output of the product is beautiful. What we have last 3 years we are doing this product. It's been beautiful.
Yeah. And Netik, I'm sure you guys have worked on a column load taking design. So it is going from one to the next through 4 or 8 columns in this product.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a columnar load. You do FE analysis and all that. And this is where a designer or capability of experience comes in. You don't. Every rotomolder does not have to have these capabilities in-house.
Exactly. We are there for that thing. We can develop everything. We can give the solutions there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should call your company solution providers.
Surely we'll do that.
Okay. Once again, thank you. And that's my last comment.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Netik, no, the question has come from Akshay of Rotomatic.
Yeah.
He wants to know about the mold for the planter that you showed. He wants to know whether it is MS or aluminum or stainless steel.
So basically, this mold which we have given, I gave a presentation was a MS mold basically.
MS, okay, that's what he wanted to know.
It's not basically, again, it's an MS CNC machine mold. It's not a fabricated mold. So the differentiation. Okay. So it's basically MS CNC machine mold, and then diamond polishing and hard chrome plating has been done to achieve the glossiness in the product.
Okay. And you'll be happy to know that you have notched the highest number for attendance at a StAR webinar. You had at one time 36 people listening to you.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Nice.
Congrats, Netik. Yeah, it's good.
Congrats.
Any new question coming?
Hello.
Any new question coming?
No,
I don't think so. I think we are done.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks, Netik. It's really exhausting for you. Yeah. Just.
Yeah. Thanks for. Yeah. Thanks for all the attending the program. It was thanks for taking out some crucial time of your work life and attending this presentation. Thank you so much.
And hope you will. Yeah, Netik.
Sorry.
Hope we will. You will be now regular participants of this webinar for presenting new ideas.
Not just webinar, there are other channels like RotoTalk, and please keep doing more.
Sure. I'll be there for 100%. I'll be always be whenever any need is, I'll be a part of it.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you everyone, and we will soon be sharing with you the recording of this webinar. Thank you very much.
Okay.